check out my resume. My past been darker than these tinted shades, but for the grace of God, me and drugs broke past, so I'ma go ahead and make a statement. I lost it when I was 15. Nice me and my big dreams. Told them this the life I chose. Working hard like my sister Rose. No more worries about my temper. Like tiny temper, I'm young and free. Thank God for my serenity.
From rock bottom, the only way to go is up, up, up. It doesn't matter what they say, you will make it anyway.
Let us stop drug abuse. Be fresh, stay cool. Them drugs gon' crush your cool. Talking a lot that I've been through. The struggle ain't nothing but love. Like when I see my mama smile. Go ahead son, make your mama, brother and family proud. I told them don't drug me down. Now they see me, it's face down. Drug free lifestyle, and still I'm uptown.
From rock bottom, the only way to go is up, up, up. It doesn't matter what they say, you will make it anyway. From rock bottom, the only way to go is up, up, up. It doesn't matter what they say, you will make it anyway.
1996, Nakada came through. The year 2012, Nakada saw me through. Like Optimus Prime, my life transformed like all that changing times. When the blessings come, they be so clear, you can see them in the mirror. Don't judge me, crown me, cause in my heart I am the greatest. This goes out to you, you're the greatest.
From rock bottom, the only way to go is up, up, up. It doesn't matter what they say, you will make it anyway. From rock bottom, the only way to go is up, up, up. It doesn't matter what they say, you will make it anyway.
They say life is no Nintendo game, but with acceptance, there's always a second chance. Stay triumphant.
That is Tonny Kibet with that song Rock Bottom. And he starts off the show for us this Friday morning. We're discussing matters to do with addictions. And of course the tagline right there is drugs your swag. Tonny Kibet is here. He is the lead coordinator of the Triumph Ministry. Karibu sana.
Asante, Mr. Drugs is swag.
Mr. Drugs your swag.
Hapo sasa.
There's always a personal story behind such a tagline.
Yeah.
Tell us about yours.
Mine, honestly, by the way, I think from that song, that one was my stage name, Ain't I? So even going back, I used to really think using drugs is what is cool. I used to think that is the swag, especially for a campus kid. I believe that is swag. And so that tagline, drugs your swag, just came from a point where I realized hiyo swag yenye tunafikirianga yenye tunaassociate nayo drugs is very short lived. Ile happiness, ile happy or fun is so short lived. That's why the tagline, drugs your swag.
That's why the tagline, drugs your swag. You until what age were you before you even experimented?
My first experiment na drugs ilikuwa while I was in Form 3. That is 2008. And I had just transferred from private school. And now ilikuwa Light Academy. So in that school where I was in Form 1 and 2, there we didn't know about drugs. Even the bad boys there, hatukuwa tunajua mambo ya drugs. Really it was about sneaking out from school, that kind of stuff. But coming into a different school now in Form 3, a public day school, I now met the real bad boys, and that's where I was introduced to drugs by someone called Booster. So he's the one who gave me my first puff of marijuana. And I remember that experience was, it was scary, if I may say so. If you remember, 2008 is the year when we were just recovering from the post-election violence. So being in a day school, there were days when we would be in school for a whole day, teachers would just show up for class. So on that particular afternoon, the day that he introduced me to the weed, it was an afternoon just after lunch. He took me to the hockey pitch. He lighted it up. And all this time I was so scared, like all my life. And you know, my upbringing, I just knew weed is the worst, you know. And there it was. Maze, and the hard, yani yale mathedi maze.
It was given more palatable names.
Hey, sasa maze ndio hiyo mse ameitoa na ameiwasha. So yeye akachapa na akanipatia. So I remember I just took a few puffs. Na mimi nikanili, it's like I just blacked out. No, not literally ati kuzima, but everything I did for that whole afternoon I don't remember. Mimi kitu tu nakumbuka ni from 2 p.m. around that time nilijigundua 5 p.m. So I don't even know how we walked from the hockey pitch all the way to the classrooms. Na si kuingia classroom yetu. So you know the different streams. Nilijipata ingine. So I wake up at 5 p.m. waso ameenda home, you know. I don't even know what happened in between.
And you didn't think, you know what, I shouldn't do this again?
Now in high school, actually that was it. So that was the first and only experience while in high school. I was like, no. You know, like out of fear.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go down that route. Yeah. Now your booster mazeata links to kakata.
You had suffered some loss of control, which you didn't like at all.
I didn't. It was scary. So for the rest of high school, I never indulged in the weed anymore, and even alcohol. Again, that one I can say I avoided it again out of fear. Sababu being a day school, inaweza fika, let's say after a weekend, so someone shows up on Tuesday, so inakuwa ati hakukuwa nini, on Monday he didn't show up to school. And then when you hear him give stories of where he was, is that he got drunk, got arrested, spent the night in police cells. So again, and I can say that time was really naive. I didn't know so much. So some of these things really, it was out of fear actually. I didn't imagine a minor, as in I'm barely even 18, na nimespend a night in a police cell. So that time in high school, I avoided out of fear. Yeah. But now come campus, it was a different thing.
So you went on to do your exams well, you passed your exams, you got into university.
Exactly. So I finished high school in 2009 and 2010. Yeah. I now joined college. I went to pursue a course in hotel management. And during that time, after I'd finished Form 4, I went to visit my sister in Moi University. So for 2 weeks, these 2 weeks which I spent with her, I really admired that life of campus, you know, that freedom, you know.
Guys were easy, they had their own cubes.
I really admired it. And I couldn't wait for my time to just get to campus and experience that freedom. And indeed it came, you know. Time moves, you know. So that time came. And I remember, you know, like, okay, now me coming into campus, really I had this notion where this is a different stage of life, you know, like now I'm away from my parents, I feel like a grown up, I feel like I can do what I want, you know. Yeah. And it's at that time now I started drinking. Now you know, like that which I was thinking was cool, you know.
You started doing it.
Yeah.
So the drinking, there's a progression, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Kuna ile weekends kwanza.
Yeah. So for me, when I joined, now there's a tagline I got huko Moi University where my sister was. So they had a tagline, ilikuwa inasema fourth year apewe. So they had even t-shirts. I'm sure anyone mwenye alikuwa LD that time Moi University, I'm sure anaweza relate mazee. So
fourth year apewe.
Fourth year apewe. And it was a thing, you know. Yeah. It was a thing. So me vile now after I've joined campus, I started mine. MA apewe, MA10 apewe. So the course, the MA used to stand for hotel management. You know how in this college every course ilikuwa na so yetu ilikuwa MA and our year was 10. So mimi nikaanzisha yangu MA10 apewe. So it was a thing. And hiyo kupewa sini, of course, sasa sini apewe yani. So for me, drinking was such a cool thing. It was such a fun thing. And at this particular institution that I was in, also I can say there was a culture also. Being a hospitality institution, there was okay, I can say it is actually a culture whereby it was permissible to drink. You know, there was kulikuwa na like there was this bash ilikuwa inaitwa matopeni. Again, it's something so old. Anyone being in that institution knows about it. So in matopeni, this is like the freshers bash. You know, it was like an okay thing. Like people would drink. You know. So for me, honestly, for quite a long time, I knew drinking is okay. As long as you're in campus, I knew it was okay.
Yeah.
And just like you had pointed out, there was that...
yeah. When did the wheels start falling off?
For me, I can say what really took place for that, to cross that line from the responsible drinking to now a drinking problem was a broken relationship. That is what happened for me. That is a thing that happened in my life.
So you got a girlfriend?
Yes. In 2010, I joined. I got a girlfriend. We were the same class.
Yeah.
She was
ulikuwa umeona ndoa?
Kabisa. And then
and happily ever after.
For sure.
Yeah.
And again, my parents are they're also alumni of that particular institution, and they met in campus. So that gave me good reason to believe this is the person mwenye we will actually live happily ever after. And so in the course of that relationship, like we grew, we grew tight. And when this relationship got broken, it took such a huge toll on me, something I didn't even think, I didn't, because it wasn't my first relationship per se, but at this time it really affected me. And it's at that point I now started, away from the weekends and now drinking. Yeah.
By all this time, your parents, anybody aware from your home?
Well,
your campus, did you have some moments where there was like a hint back home that, hey, this guy anakunywanga pombe?
Yeah, now that first year of responsible drinking, I can say I was not even ashamed of saying that, because my parents knew about matops. So I would actually tell them, hey, mimi nenda matopeni. But you see, that time the drinking was controlled, Like I wouldn't misbehave, It's like, so no one really would think you have a problem, As long as, and again, I wasn't coming back home. I had a hostel where I used to
so nobody saw you kabisati out of it.
Yeah. But no, at
and
this
your grades
time,
were still good.
Actually, that time of responsible drinking, my grades were very good. Very good. But at this time when the relationship has been broken, my esteem has hit the rocks, By this time, slowly people started seeing, changes. Even in terms of my personality, I will now even become unruly. I will become rude. So these symptoms started showing. And something that, with the benefit of hindsight, something that really struck is that, imagine the same friends who, si ati ni wale wa, it's not the type who don't drink. The same ones who drink. Itafika point wananiambia mchanga. Now mchanga was my moniker that time. Wananiambia mchanga maze, hatukwambii uache, lakini punguza. That's something that I now think about, and I was like, yeah. So someone who si ati ndio, si ati ya kunywangi, si ati anakujaji, but they are actually seeing a problem, And all this time I didn't see a problem. I was like, you mind your business. And
so you went on hustling into this service.
And so I went on. And it reached a point at this time when this broken relationship actually caused it caused a depression in me, which I was admitted to a psychiatric ward for 2 weeks. And this time, I was advised not to consume alcohol while taking the medication. And so at that time, actually, you see, when I joined campus, I was not taking weed. But at this time, when I've been told, look here, you are taking this medication and you need not to mix with alcohol, at that point now, I started smoking weed, With that, rationalization that
with you alcohol.
Na hii, you know, there is all those things being a holy herb, you know, a meditative, you know, all those things, you know.
Like if you were saying things, you know, there's
you know,
a healing herb.
you know, like this helps you to chill out, you know.
Yes.
But honestly, it was a difficult time. It was such a difficult time because now the girlfriend who we had now broken up, we're in the same class, you know. So I just wanted to be high all the time, you know. I didn't have that, I don't know, the courage.
So the grades, they began failing.
Yes, definitely. My appearance, yani nikaanza tu kukam, you know, unruly. The kind of person who you'll meet in an alley, in a dark alley. Na ukimuona hivi unatana unaanza kurudi huko, or you just unapitana ukishikilia roho yako, you know. Na my appearance, yani nilikuwa nimeanza tu kukaa unruly sana.
Yeah, tell me something. You have quite a number of tattoos.
Yeah.
When did you get them?
Well,
what informed that?
It's during this time of addiction. Well, the first one I got it ile sasa tu ile swag tu bado. Ile moja tu moja.
Where was that one?
Here, right here on my right arm. But now it's after this you know, this broken relationship. Besides just the drugs, my esteem was completely ruined, you know. I had, you know, no good feeling about myself, you know. Like it was really terrible. And so that's the time I really now started tattooing in an attempt to just make myself feel better, make myself, you know, acceptable among others, you know. And I think it's something that many young people at that age.
It's painful. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Do you know when you're empty inside, you just want to feel anything. Even pain is a feeling, you know. I was empty, you know. It's like I was like you know, like Walking Dead. It's like you're just
So was
walking.
anything informing that were you tattooing for, like, you want? Was there a reason for the tats that you got, as in the styles of the ones you got?
Well, no, not really. Not
or
really.
Just anything that came to your mind?
Anything,
like,
you know, I will know that the tattoo parlor was somewhere I will just chill on a weekend. So anything.
So unaangalia tu mapicha unasema
yeah, this one looks cool, yeah. And then also nilikuwa fan wa Lil Wayne mbaya. So
Lil Wayne rapper.
Nilikuwa fan mbaya. So
huyu wa ma gold teeth na manini. He has a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. So inspiration mingi hata zilitoka kwake. And all this time it was just trying to feel an emptiness, just trying to fill a gap.
What did your parents say about that? Like the tats and stuff?
My parents, you see, all this, you know, I was in a hostel. I was
so they're not seeing you now?
They were not seeing me.
They don't know how bad it's
they didn't
gotten.
know. And the times I was going at home by the unajua sasa times nishaingia kwa madrevi serious. The times I was going home, I was actually nilikuwa naenda kuchukua vitu, electronics, going to pick them and going to sell, you know. That is, you know, all this time, you know, in this.
Did they notice?
You know, of course they will notice at some point, but you know, unachukua zile
hazionekani hazitumiki sana,
exactly, you know.
You know, so first you're hiding.
Yeah, they will notice much later, you know.
Yeah. And
mind you, this journey of addiction is one that I was not suffering alone. You know, they say addiction is a family disease.
It is.
And how I can interpret that from my own experience. Sio mimi pekee nilikuwa naumia. In fact, wao ndio walikuwa naumia hata zaidi because of these behaviors that nimeanza ku-exhibit.
When was the big bang that showed them there's a problem with our son, our brother?
Oh wow! It must be somewhere in the course of 2012. 2012 was really the darkest year, and I believe the time that really raised those red flags was a time when I drank. It was a weekday. Nilikuwa nimetoka Kole. The college is on Thika Road, and I went to town. I went with a friend who was to buy me a bottle of liquor. Ilikuwa weekday by the plot was I was to buy that liquor na nirudi nayo Kole na tupatake na mabeste wangu. But what happened, I started drinking that boti nikiwa town. Kaanza tu kupewa, kaanza tu kukunywa. Pole pole tu. Nikijiambia, you know,
you can handle.
Yeah, I can handle. Na itafika.
You are so used to it, asa watajua.
And remember, this is dry vodka. Like 40% of alcohol.
Some real foolishness with that, Aki. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
There's an imagination that people won't see.
Yeah.
Or you will camouflage it, or you know, somehow. Yeah.
So mimi nikakunywa tu. By the time I'm coming back from town, and your bus stop nikapitishwa. So the Kole, let's say, is on this side of Thika Road, and then nikapitishwa, I was to alight somewhere like here, so nikapitishwa nikaletwa hii stage ingine, and of which the college is almost next to my home. So hii stage nilikuwa nimewekwa ndio actually ya kuenda home. But I was like, I know I'm drunk, siezi enda home. So I started now foot journey kurudi Kole. So I am still drinking, and I'm telling you, before I knew it, hii chupa ilikuwa imeisha 750 ml. Enye nilikuwa nakunywa pole. Before I knew it, hii boti imeisha. And at that time, it's like I snapped. Zikalipuka. And the next thing I knew, in 2012, I think Thika Road was, I think still kwa construction, but there were this, kuna hizi mawe zilikuwa kwa barabara. Do you know the next thing I'm doing, nimerarua shati, and nimechukua mawe, I'm stoning vehicles. Now on this side of Thika Road, the side where like heading to Thika, hiyo gari ya kwanza ika speed off, yani ile kabisa. Maybe you thought
some riot or starting.
Yeah. Aya, mi naye najisikia tu, I'm walking this Thika Road, so I'm on my way to the college. Nika cross barabara huko, pia nika stone magari. Now the second vehicle on that side, hizi zenye zinaenda town, happened to be a PSV. Now PSV si ni mang'aa kama whoever it is unarusha mawe. Who do you think you are? The next thing I knew, the next thing I knew, awase wameshuka ile mat na napigwa mob. And I was like, ni kama hapo senses zikarudi kidogo, it's like now, okay, actually before actually nishikwe, it's like kulikuwa na those shouts, yani, hey, shika huyo, something like that. I'm too drunk, but I can just hear some noises. So I attempted to run, but I'm too drunk. Nikaanguka hapo. And the next thing I knew, mi napigwa mob. And this thing was, I don't even know for how long it went, but the next other thing I realized is that a traffic officer, this whole thing was happening just next to the traffic headquarters. The next thing I know is that a police officer has intervened. Ametuliza hiyo zogo yote, na ndio akasema nipelekwe Muthaiga police station. Now that is one thing that I usually even, as I narrate this story, this is one of those times which I just say, God was with me.
Yeah, that's an act of God.
Because ni usiku,
usiku utapigwa paka ukufe.
Yeah, and remember, this is also the same time the Al-Shabaab attacks in our countries zilikuwa zimekuwa rampant sana. And in fact what happened is that hiyo jiwe ilivunja dirisha and it hurt someone, it hurt a passenger. Huyo passenger, they took a P3 on me. Now those days I didn't know what all of those were, but nilijua ni ngori. And from what I also heard much later is that this guy akireport, it was that he was, ana report akisema alifikiria ni Al-Shabaab. Now you can imagine such accusations, like yani such a reputation, so to speak, inakupata. So these are people who love your mob, labda walikuwa wananipiga in the name of ni Al-Shabaab,
So you're at Muthaiga police station?
Yeah, nikapelekwa Muthaiga, yeah. And ujue nimekunywa full bottle.
So bado na imagine bado umeiva sana, so
alafu na nimepigwa mob. Now another, I don't know, miraculous thing or nini, do you know, the next morning naamka sina hangover na sina uchungu tu ni kidogo kwa mwili, and I'm like, wow. that kind of consumption of alcohol would expect asubuhi hata ukwe na hangover ingine, but I just woke up and still in my nature, addict, one of the characteristics ni being a chronic liar, a pathological liar. Napiga simu kwa mzazi, nasema vile I called and said I was from an outside catering event, and these guys watu walinipiga.
You're turning the tables.
Yeah. Kuna mwenye alirusha hizo mawe, mimi nilimuona akikimbia. Watu wakanishika.
These stories, they never get old.
And imagine, mzazi tu with all their love. Anakuja na they are so convinced mtoto wangu mlimwekelea. But it's until now the matatu crew came and they're like, it's this guy. So ikafika tu place yenyewe niko kwa kona. And I was like, yeah, yenyewe ni mimi, So that was one very terrible event.
How did the case go? I'm sure the viewers want to know.
Yeah, by the way, I kept thinking about it just until recently when I finally got a certificate of good conduct. Sababu unajua nilichukuliwa fingerprints that time.
Oh yeah.
And so it's something that was hanging over my head for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So that time...
But it doesn't hold until you go to remand. When you go to remand is when the trouble really starts with the fingerprints.
Yeah, but yeah, for me it was naweza sema it caused pain in my heart considering my parents I believe they used so much money. Sababu hii matatu the crew wanasema there is money we lost because tumekuwa kwa nini we were not able to operate at these hours hii yenye nini. There is the cost of repairing that window, there is the cost for this guy huyu mwenye amereport. I don't even know how that went, but thankfully we didn't actually go to court or anything. And then I was taken back to the psychiatric ward for another 2 weeks.
Okay, Tony, hold that thought. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to play a video by Tony on his moments, you know, in the deep darkness. What do you call that video?
It's called What They Did Not Tell Me.
What They Did Not Tell Me. You want to watch that? We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with that video and finish up with Tony Kibet. See you shortly.